Hi everybody, Dr. Lisa Thompson here, and I'm coming to you from my home office outside of Eden Prairie, Minnesota, and welcome to another edition of The Doctor Is In Live, coming to you on this very first day of fall, which is my favorite season. I just love the way the fall feels, and one of my favorite scents of fall in smells is when the bonfires go at night and just that smokiness and seeing the stunning foliage. It just, I'm just so full of gratitude, and I'm full of gratitude for you all today. So what I want you to do is make sure that you click on the notification up on the right-hand corner of your screen to make sure that whenever I'm going live, you are going to get notified by Facebook so that you can come on board and we can have a great one-on-one discussion with lots of engagement. We're continuing our discussion today on blogging, and we're going to be tackling video. Why must you do video with your blog? And my best tips with creating a video blog post that will get you engagement and leads. So let's get right to it. Let's talk about why you need to be doing video. Right now, video is the most engaged form of content you can create. Why? Because people can see you, they can hear you, and they can feel your energy. They know that you're real. Now, for a lot of you, I'm camera shy. A lot of you may not know that. I was very, very camera shy when I was growing up and well into my adult years. I would sit and be on the edge of the screen. If I knew I was getting my picture shot, I would duck behind something. I hated how I sounded when I did a video. But when I started my online business, I realized I had to step out of my comfort zone and do videos. So I started doing them 3 years ago, and I got so much engagement from people that it just boosted my confidence, and now I love doing videos. And I used to just do static videos like in my office. So for me to step out of my comfort zone and do a live show where I'm talking off the cuff, that was a big step for me, and now I'm addicted to doing Facebook Lives. But here is why Facebook Lives are so, in video in general, is so important. Hey, Allie, thanks for watching. Is when you're doing video, this is very important when it comes to Google, okay, looking at your, ranking your site. So what happens is Google has what's called the bounce rate. And what that means is it's measuring how long people stay on your website. If they only stay on for a short period of time, that's going to affect your bounce rate. You're going to not get much attention from Google because, remember, Google's looking for relevancy. Hey, Michelle, glad that you're on. You're about to hop on Ed's webinar. Oh, you're going to love it, Allie. Hey, Junie, glad that you're on today, too. And what we were talking about here with Google assessing with the bounce rate is when your site, okay, has a high bounce rate, meaning people don't stay on it very long. What that tells Google is that your content is not relevant to your audience. But when you put a video on your blog, guess what? People are going to sit and watch that video, especially if it's something relevant and solves a problem. So if you have a 2, 5, 6 minute video, and people stay and they watch it and watch it to the end, guess what? That's going to affect your bounce rating. You're going to have a higher ranking. Google's going to give you a boost, and now your site is going to be seen on the search engines. So let's talk about how you structure your video blog. If you're pressed for time, and I know a lot of you, one of the big concerns that people have with doing video marketing, besides being getting out of their comfort zone, is finding the time, thinking they have to sit in front of their laptop or desktop. Not so. I recommend that you do a Facebook Live video because you can do it on the go. All the smartphones, guys, have video capability with HD camera and sound. Okay, I'm doing this straight from my phone right now, which is really cool. And what you can do is you can go on your lunch break or a break at work and you could shoot maybe a 5 or 6 minute Facebook Live video teaching your audience about a solving a particular problem that they have. So when you're doing a Facebook Live video, I would recommend doing a series of tips, like my 5 best tips on getting leads on Facebook, or here are 3 tips to building an audience on Instagram. Here are my 4 tips with legally stealing your Twitter competition's followers, okay? Something like that. And then what you do, you record the video. When you get home, then what you do is you're going to structure your blog post. You'll put maybe 1 or 2 tips as text. Then for the other 2 tips, you're going to write in there, please watch this Facebook Live video to get the remaining tips. And what you're going to do when you get home, obviously, once you uploaded your Facebook Live video, you're going to want to download that video and then upload it to your YouTube channel. That's a great way to repurpose your content. And now you have people on your YouTube channel, they can subscribe to your YouTube channel to get your video. And you can put that YouTube video right into your blog post. Most WordPress does accept WordPress URL links. Could it be a motivational video or does it have to be made by me? Good question, Junie. Actually, it should be both. Okay, if you're starting out, what I love to do when I'm doing my motivational, a lot of times on Sunday, I like to do motivational quotes. If I find a motivational video from somebody else that they did something, or maybe it's a biography on the quote, like let's say if I'm doing like a series of quotes from Tony Robbins, I might go to Tony Robbins' YouTube channel and find a real short bio on him, maybe 2 to 5 minutes, and I'll put that in as a video. But if I'm going to be teaching problems, solving problems and how to do something, I want them to be learning it from me. So I do a combination of both. Now, when you're doing this, why do we want you to do with having, half of your tips be written out and then half on your video? I got to share something with you, and this is a tactic that you need to understand about human nature. We crave completion, and we are creatures of curiosity. Now, before Netflix came out, and we started binge watching, before the internet, before cable TV, there was a show on television called Dallas, all right? I don't know if some of you may not, be old like me, but there was a show on called Dallas that started in the late 70s and then early 80s, and they started the cliffhanger. There was one season where the character J.R. Ewing, played by Larry Hagman, he got shot in the final episode of that season. And I remember that summer, my mom and her sisters and my mom and dad's friends, all that was talked about that summer was who shot J.R. Ewing. And it was such a frenzy by the time the next season started in September, ratings were through the roof. People were craving completion. They wanted to know who shot J.R. Ewing. And they didn't reveal it, I believe, until it was like the 2nd or 3rd episode. But what that meant is these cliffhangers, now then you start seeing all these other shows doing season-ending cliffhangers. You see soap operas do season-ending, yes, Karen, it was the sister, it was Sue Ellen's sister. But yeah, it was huge. It was huge. And so you can create, I want you to think of when you're creating your blog, you're creating a cliffhanger when you're doing the video. So if you're doing little teases, so when you're doing the text and you're putting out the first 2 tips, give them kind of like the 2 minor tips. But if you've got like a main point that you really want to get across, it's like the best and top tip you have, you make sure that they watch that video and you'll say, hey, if you want my very best tip, watch this video right now. And see, people, they'll be hanging on every word. They're going to want to watch it. And the longer people stay on your text, all right, and they stay on your blog, Google's going to see it as relevant, and they're going to bump you up in the search engine rankings. That is the power. And if you go and look at some of the top bloggers in the industry, All right, there are people like Ray Higdon, Jelena Ostrov. I can't say Jelena's last name. My Russian blogging ninja. You guys know who Jelena is, and Diane Hockman, and Mark Harbert. They all do a video in their blogging, and it makes a world of difference for connection. And see, when people then opt into your after they watched your, looked at your blog post, they watched your video, they feel like they know, like, and trust you enough that they're going to take that next step and want to get into your list, or they're going to want to work with you. And then the cool part is that when they leave their phone number, they're going to trust you enough to leave you their phone number. And when you call them, they're going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe it's you. That's power in having a video blog. So I highly recommend that you do that. Now, if you're really still a little scared about doing a Facebook Live, you can also do another option available to you, and that is you can do a screen share of a tutorial on how to do something. Maybe it's setting up your Facebook account. Here are some ways to set up your Facebook fan page, or show them how to follow people on Facebook, or how to edit a Facebook or upload a Facebook video, how to upload a YouTube video. You can do things like that with a screen share to get started. That's perfectly fine too if you're just testing the waters. But eventually you're going to want to do a Facebook Live because it's so, so powerful. Did you get value today? I got to do one more tip with you. Some of you are like, Doc, here is, one quick thing. I just saw Karen. What's the best way to learn how to do Facebook Live? Hang on, Karen. I've got something really great to share with you in just a second once I reveal this tip. If you're really pressed for time and you don't want to be typing out stuff, this is what some of the top industry earners will do. They'll create their video, and then they'll go to a place called rev.com, R-E-V as in Victor.com, and that's a transcription service where they charge $1 per minute. And what you can do is, if you have like a 5-minute video, you can send them that video and pay them $5, and they'll give you a transcribed video, and you can take that transcription and you can put that into your blog post. You just have to look at that transcription and just kind of word it a little bit better so it sounds good on a blog. You don't want to be putting like ums and ahs, because they'll be transcribing that as well. And the turnaround time, it depends on how many people are sending in their videos. But that's just a really cool way. Hey, I just saw Jeffrey Kistner like my page here. Awesome. If you guys aren't following Jeffrey, you got to do that. He is such a great marketer, and you can learn so much from Jeffrey and his love, April Marie Tucker, who is the reigning Instagram queen. So make sure that you're following both of them. You're going to get a ton of value. Now, I want to get back to, hey, Jeffrey, to what's the best way to learn Facebook Live? Here's what I'm going to show you. I'm going to put at the end of this session, I'm going to put in the video description, I have a free training done by some of the best Facebook Live experts, Stephen and Lanacia Rachel. They're absolutely awesome and phenomenal marketers. And they did a training on how to really set up and do a Facebook Live that can really get you more engagement and more leads. They have a video training along with a cheat sheet. So what I'm going to do is, when I'm done with this, shooting this, I'll put the link in the video description. Click on that, and then you can get access to that training, because Facebook Live is just, you got to be doing Facebook Live videos, because right now Facebook wants more video on their network. It's highly form share content, and what they're doing is that if you do a Facebook Live video, it stays in your newsfeed longer, so you can get a higher reach and really connect with people, because that's what social media is about. We want to share, and what I just shared with you today, you can repurpose into some really awesome content to put on your blog. It's going to be a great time saver, and you're absolutely going to love it. So that's what I want you guys to do today. And then make sure you tune in tomorrow, because I'm going to share with you another great blogging tip on really how to structure your blog. There's a real specific format that the top earners do when they do their blogging, and it's a very great progression, and it really guides the reader into taking that next step. Remember, in social media marketing, in our social media sales funnel, we're all about, we get them on, we connect with them on social media, and then we want them to take the next step, which is to develop the relationship further by inviting them to come to our blog and to read our blog. And then we want to deepen the relationship further by getting them to opt in to our list, whether we're offering them a free training or we're going to take them to a sales page, so that eventually they're going to become a loyal reader of our blog, a subscriber, and eventually a paid customer or joining us in business. That's the essence of what we're doing here. So make sure you tune in tomorrow, and I'm going to show you the exact steps of how to set up your blog in a very specific format that's going to help you increase your lead flow. So with that said, have a great Thursday, you guys, and we'll talk tomorrow.